Here we go with program 21 of our show called On Top the Cage. If you're in Vegas, that's blackjack, baby. It is Conference Championship Sunday show that we bring to you tonight. How you doing, my friend?
I'm fantastic. 50 degrees out. I got the shorts back on.
I tell you what, wild weather changes here. We're down to 4 teams left, 3 games left. Holy cow. Hurts my heart to say a little bit. Dan mentioned the weather. We always talk about it. Set change. The door is back open. We got to be 50, 52, something like that.
It was 52 when I rolled in here.
Yeah, I mean, last week when we did the show, it might have been damn near 0. I don't think it was that cold, but it got down to that. I mean, it was a really cold week last week.
We did it on a Wednesday. I mean, school was closed.
Yeah,
Shoot,
right,
I think my wife's a teacher, and I think she only worked twice last week.
School districts are soft.
Yes, they are soft, because Friday we should have had school.
Right. Yeah.
With the snow.
We got, when did it come? I forget when it came, what day it came. We got like 4 to 5 inches.
Friday morning, it came from the south, so it was a little wet. And then the wind changed, so the snow we got later was light. I mean, it blew around. I mean, it didn't accumulate like on the roads and stuff.
No, it was easy.
Fine.
It was easy driving. We got probably 4 to 5 inches. I did my driveway a few times.
I mean, shoot, Saturday morning I used the blower.
The snow blower? Did you really?
Well, Friday morning I used the snow blower. Saturday morning and Sunday morning I used the leaf blower.
Yeah. It was soft. It wasn't wet or heavy or anything like that. I tell you what.
Powder.
My good friend lives right across the street there, Brian. He put a blade on one of his excess vehicles, I'll say, his extra vehicle that he has, which
He's got a Jeep Wrangler. Come on.
He does. He put a blade on it. The dude's like a kid in a fucking candy store, man. He's like doing everybody's driveway. I mean, he's doing people's driveways he doesn't know around here. He's enjoying himself. I don't know. He might get in trouble, man. I mean, trying to read people's driveway. I mean, I know the blade's flexible on those things, or the plow's flexible, and it'll go up and down with undulations in people's driveways, because ours isn't exactly flat in all the spots. But man, sometimes when you got 4 to 5 inches of snow, you can't see all the shit. I'm waiting for him to run over somebody's landscape shit or something. And they're like, this motherfucker, you know?
Yeah, this guy plowing my driveway wrecked something.
Yeah, I got a text from somebody I know in the neighborhood that didn't have Brian's number. They're like, hey, what can I buy Brian? Does he drink alcohol, or what's his beer? What's he partial to? Things like that. Brian's not really a big drinker, but I shared the contact, and I'm sure he said thanks. So yeah, Brian's enjoying that. So, and he did our driveway once, but I'm always on it, and I don't like traffic up and down the drive, because you can't get the shit off after the traffic goes up and down.
Oh yeah, no,
so.
That's why I was hustling out there to get it. You know, we're 2 cars at home now, so I'm like, no tire tracks.
I'm the first person who leaves this house every morning for the most part. With that being said, I try to get on it and, clear it off before the rest of the people start driving up and down as they wake up during the day, I suppose. I don't know. So, anyway, that's the weather portion of the program that we always do. Let's do it, Dan. We got lots to talk about. Let's do the beer. I feel like the beers are sweating. I don't even know.
I know. It's so, your fridge is so cold, and yeah, these babies are sweating.
Are they cold?
Yeah. No, they're cold. Look at, there's condensation on the outside of the can. It's so warm here.
Saturday transfer. By the Masthead Brewing Company, Dan. When I picked this up, I thought it was some Arche, because it looks like one of their cans, which is my favorite brewing company, because Masthead, let's talk about their can presentation. Usually it's nothing, right, Dan?
Yes.
Their logo and just says the fucking name. But now this one, what is going on the can? I don't know exactly what's going on.
If you read the story, it's supposedly this beer was supposed to be transferred on a Saturday, and
from the keg or the something?
Yes, and somebody didn't do it.
Oh, that's the story on the back?
Yes. I don't know what's in it. It doesn't tell me what's in it.
What kind of beer is it?
Indian Pale Ale, double dry, 7.5% alcohol by volume.
New England style India Pale Ale, double dry hopped. It says. Dan's got all that shit correct. I like the can. I really do. I picked it Saturday transfer. The Saturday transfer, what it means to me is, you will not see football on Saturday again until probably Labor Day fucking weekend. Which, that hurts. That hurts. Good looking beer. It's hazy kind, too.
Smells piney.
Oh, I like it. That's up my alley. That type of beer's up my alley. I'm an IPA guy. I like it.
Yeah, that's every IPA I go back to the Truth, and it's not as heavy as Truth.
It's a good beer. I like this one. I'll try not to do 2. What'd you say, 7.5? Wheelhouse. Anyway, so last week on the show we talked about Dan's. Well, first of all, we talked about Dan missing a birthday. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna throw Dan under the bus again for missing his daughter's birthday. We got a couple coming up in the family this week. It is Poppy's birthday, which is, how do I describe Poppy? Katie's other dad? I don't know. You all know about Tom, who's Katie's dad, lives in South Florida, and then Katie's mom is married to Bill. We affectionately refer to him as Poppy. They live like 4 miles from us. We see him as soon as we can. So happy birthday to him. And Katie's brother Kevin, I think, goes behind it. Yeah. I want to say Poppy's Friday and maybe Kevin Monday. I'm not positive about that, but they're both certainly before we'll shoot again, because we probably have a dead week unless Dan makes us do a show that nobody fucking watches. We'll see you next week. I don't know, because obviously there's a break between Conference Championship Sunday and the Super Bowl.
We're doing a show. Got nothing else to do.
We'll see about that. So anyway, last week we talked about Delaney.
We're not giving away a car, so you should pay attention.
I'm sorry, what?
Next week.
We're not giving away a car?
Yeah, we might.
Okay. All right. Nice. The sponsors are coming in. Yes, the sponsorships are coming in.
Goodman Service Center.
Oh, shit. Astrovan.
Yeah.
Is that thing still alive? Did he keep that thing?
Actually, insurance is going to pay have it restored. Yeah, because it was
because of the vintage.
It was so freaking clean.
We're talking about Mark the mechanic,
who's supposed to be here again tonight. He's running out of shows, man.
He has got 1 left, bro. 2, I guess 2. I don't know. Holy hell, we might need him for next week because there won't be any football to talk about. So we'll see if Mark makes an appearance next week. That's what we were talking about. But last week we also talked about Dan's daughter Delaney moving into her new apartment. It turns out that my oldest son Connor's girlfriend ended up moving into that apartment complex, and they're directly below Delaney and her beau. So anyway, that's kind of a weird quinky thing and things like that. And it's funny, they were over here talking about that, and the first thing that Connor's girlfriend Bree said was, "Oh, I found out that Delaney's they got to bring Gideon over, which is Dan's dog."
He's over there now. He's at Delaney's house right now tonight.
But the other fucking thing that happened, Dan, you talk about, like, we spend so much money on that apartment, or she pays so much money for that apartment, she asked me to do something, because you're going to have quirks when you move into a brand new building like this is. And Dan's like, fuck that, dude, I'm not doing that. So Bree comes over here, and she's talking about a couple of quirks with the apartment. Katie's like the opposite. She's all over it. Dude, she's like, I refer to her as blonde pieces.
I'm like, hey, it's a brand new freaking place. The dryer's not working. They crushed the freaking vent. I mean, you know when you get a dryer and you go and get the vent piece?
Yep.
It's like 12 feet long. The entire 12 feet is behind their dryer, and it's just smashed against the wall.
No ventilation.
Yeah, I'm like, well, that's why your dryer's not working. I'm like, yeah, it's easy to fix it, but call your freaking people.
That wasn't what happened over here when Bree had an issue or so with their new apartment, and Katie wanted to strap on her tool belt. She's like fucking Schneider from One Day at a Time. Like, she was ready to go.
See, I'm like, if I go and fix it, does that screw up something with a warranty on this stuff? And, you know, I mean, it's brand new. I mean, what the hell?
I hear you. Anyway, what'd you do this weekend, Dan?
I mean, there's enough freaking vent tube for that whole building.
Sure.
Shoved against the wall.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't live there. Fuck, I don't know. Not my problem. I don't know. What did you do this weekend? This is your portion of the show, because we don't do shit here. Boy. I can tell you what we did. I can tell you right now what we did. Friday, wildly fucking cold. But Katie and I probably dangerously got in the hot tub. I mean, it was snowing outside. It was super cold. I mean, it must have been like 0. The hot tub is, I think if I'm not mistaken, it's like 106. Anyway, I enjoy watching my wife struggle to get in. She doesn't do the hot temperatures very well. But we enjoyed that. We were in the hot tub for a bit on Friday, and then Saturday, Connor Keaton.
Saturday was deceiving because it was still freaking cold out, but the sun was blazing.
Blazing?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was out. It was blue sky, and it was, you know.
Blazing.
It wasn't hot, though.
Saturday, we were over there watching football. Keaton was in town. He brought his buddy Eric Lindsay over. I enjoy him. Connor was over here with his girlfriend Bree. We previously mentioned her on the show. Gavin, who doesn't come out here too much, he's a Packer fan, man. He watched that entire Packer game out here with us, man. It was a ton of fun. The drinks were flowing. that was our weekend though, Dan. But did you guys go out? Did you do your
No.
traditional date night?
Nope. My wife was introduced to HelloFresh, and she had some food delivered, and one of the dishes had shrimp in it, and she was like, "Well, I'm not eating this later in the week because if shrimp
Shellfish, yeah.
sits in the fridge, so we stayed
Shellfish
home.
and shelf life do not mix.
So she wanted to do that, and I was like, sweet.
Yeah, and watching football, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you guys didn't go out at all?
Nope.
Wow.
Nope.
You're going to pay for that, I bet. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, come on. Yeah.
I hear you. This weekend, I don't know, man. I guarantee you guys go out and you won't miss shit. But
Saturday, there's nothing on. But then
might be able to coach my wife and
Sunday, I made Ken's lasagna.
that's a little strong when he calls it Ken's lasagna, but go with the story.
Well, if you're a viewer of the show, everybody knows, that I like to cook. And I love lasagna, but I've never been able to make it where it doesn't look like a soupy pile of frickin' mush.
Put it on the plate, he says the shit collapses.
It was nothing. Come over here one day and Ken's feeding me. He's like, first time I ever made lasagna, and it was freaking awesome. I was so pissed.
He was.
I mean,
he was angrily gobbling it up. Like, he was visually pissed.
I was really pissed at his lasagna. So he sent me the recipe.
I did.
Followed it to a T. Was amazed. It was so freaking good. Now I tweaked it because he uses turkey. I didn't do that.
My wife doesn't eat red meat, so yeah, we use a lot of turkey, ground meat, things like that.
But it was freaking fantastic.
I added my little twist, but yeah, I'm glad. I don't know what it was. If it was a noodle not being all the way cooked through. You think it is? You think it is?
I'm telling you, that's the key.
Just warm water as opposed to boiling them all the way. So anyway,
it was fantastic.
I tell you what, the other thing that happened, Dan and I always text during the week and things like that. And Dan sent me a text this week. It said, Roy fucking Kent. Yeah. So Dan finally started. I told him for a while, or Katie more than I have, probably my wife more than I have. I'm like, Dan, you got to watch the show. Dan loves soccer, but that show's not really about soccer. But what is the show fucking called again?
Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso.
Funny as hell.
All right, what, 3 seasons, right?
3 seasons. That's it, unfortunately.
About halfway through the whole thing?
Yeah.
Middle of season 2, something like that?
Yep.
I told him you'd love it. It's not a whole hell of a lot about soccer, but there's obviously soccer involved. It's a lot about relationships and the 80s
Well, it's
references.
relationships, and I'll tell you, it's coaching. There's some coaching perspective in there, too. The head games that you do with players and egos and stuff. I like it. It's a good show.
Kate and I loved this show, and we told Dan he had to watch it. It harms up his alley both ways.
If you hate soccer, you should still watch the show.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it doesn't have anything to do with soccer, but yeah, if you hate soccer, you'll still love the show.
You'll still like it,
right? Because there's a lot of the '80s references. What kills me.
It's funny.
It's super funny.
Good.
What's his name? Jason Sudeikis?
Sudeikis. Sudeikis.
You sure that's not the fly that comes in the summer?
That's a cicada.
Cicada. All right, anyway.
Speaking of soccer, though, got an early birthday present.
What's that? Wait, when's your birthday? February what?
12th.
All right.
Day after the Super Bowl.
All right.
Crew home opener tickets, baby.
That's awesome. I saw something come up on my ex Twitter today that said the MLS season starts exactly 1 month from today.
Yes.
That's a quick turnaround. I feel like it's a really quick turnaround. Maybe it's because...
It's a quick turnaround because our team frickin' won.
Yes. That's where I was going, exactly where Dan was going there. Yeah, I guess it's a quick turnaround because the Crew made it all the way to the MLS Championship and actually won the championship. So, very good with that. It is becoming that season. We were talking about movies, series, things like that. I'm not about to fucking start a movie, or a series that, like The Walking Dead or something fucking crazy where there's 12, 14 episodes. Give me a show that has 1 season or 2 seasons that is fantastic. My wife and I are currently watching something on Netflix called Fool Me Once. It is brand new, really. I think there's 8 episodes. We're through 5. Katie's wildly involved in it, and she wanted to watch episode 6. We started to. I'm like, I don't have time. I got dinner. I got the show. It takes a bit to put up this whole thing and whatever. And it's not crazy, but I just did not have enough time to sit down for an hour and watch an episode of it. But we're involved with that. Send us recommendations, man. Dan, I would like that because it's becoming that season. I know Dan's not a big basketball guy.
No.
I try to get into it.
NASCAR, baby.
Oh, no, thank you. No. Anyway, one other thing that happened this weekend, we finally did Oliver's DNA test. It takes 2 or 3 weeks for it to come back. Swab, he was not he wasn't
related to Bigfoot?
We don't know yet. Hopefully I have it back for the Super Bowl show here in 2 weeks. The results. Oliver's a wild-looking little dog that we have here. We got him out of the pound. We love him like crazy. He's going to be 9 this spring. So we're going to finally find out what Oliver's background is, I suppose. Anyway, I'm going to do last week, and then we're going to talk a little bit about football, and then we're going to pick these games for you guys and probably give you some prop bets as well. Dan and I both went last week, if you watched the show. Dan and I had the exact same picks. We also had the exact same best, better elephant pick. Dan and I both went 2-2. Dan, obviously, we're status quo. Dan's plus 20 on the season. I'm plus 34 on the season. We both had Detroit as our best bet on the board in the 4 games last week. They did cover their number. Dan's 9-9-2 for the year. I'm 12-7-1 in the best bet elephant pick thing. NFL news and notes. We have the Titans filled their head coaching vacancy.
Yes, and I'm freaking nervous because Bill Callahan, the offensive line coach at the Browns, that's his kid that got the job. So,
Brian Callahan's his kid.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
His
Brian
dad's
Callahan.
going to go over there.
Brian Callahan, offensive coordinator for the Cincinnati Bengals, got the head coaching gig for the Tennessee Titans. And I don't know if it might have happened already before we had the show last week, but New England filled their vacancy internally with Jared Mayo. But we don't have anything else. We've had all these.
And you know what's funny about that? How did nobody know that was in his contract?
I know, right? They didn't. They avoid the Rooney Rule and all that good stuff.
You know, people look at the contracts, and when the contracts, they all missed it.
Yeah, I don't know. They avoid the Rooney Rule, but what's the difference? Because Jared Mayo is black, right? So what's the difference? What the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't even know where
there's
an argument there.
No, there's no argument. I guess if you fill the thing internally, you avoid. I don't know if you avoid I don't know how it all works with that stuff. So, I don't know. And we keep on hearing this. I feel like the Bill Belichick to Atlanta thing is losing steam.
It is.
Yeah, and they've interviewed a lot of different people.
Why would he go there?
I don't know. They need a piece of quarterback. They got to figure that out. They do. There's no way he's going to a team that doesn't have a quarterback that can play because he did that after Tom Brady. He's like, fuck that. I don't like that. Type of thing.
Why did the Bears not reach out to Vrabel for defensive coordinator?
He ain't taking there's no way Mike Vrabel's taking a coordinator position.
He doesn't seem to have too many interviews going. Atlanta? Why would he take Atlanta?
There's no way old boy takes a coordinator position.
Well, and I told you on my way over here, we're shooting this show. It's 8 o'clock now. I thought Harbaugh.
Dan says it's close between Harbaugh and the Los Angeles Chargers. They want him bad, and I think Michigan's fighting to keep him there at the University of Michigan. I mean, he's a hot commodity for sure. I think it probably happens. I don't know, but we haven't seen that yet. As far as you see the logo conspiracy thing?
Yes, I have seen that.
And it says, San Francisco, Baltimore? In the last 2 or 3 years, it's been correct.
Yeah.
In regards, last year was Philadelphia and Kansas City, and I forget what the previous year was. But the colors of, I don't know what Super Bowl are. We'll have all that for you in 2 weeks. But yeah,
I want to see the logo with brown on it.
Right, no shit. I
said orange, but I'm like, that could be the Bears, that could be the Bengals, that could be the Browns.
Can I get some burnt orange or navy blue, please? No. Damn. So anyway,
I need some brown.
All right, I think we're damn near on to football. Logo conspiracy though, I'm still on it a little bit.
Yeah, no,
we haven't picked the games, and I'm not asking Dan to pick this game. Are you gonna? Could you bring yourself to root for Baltimore even?
Fuck no.
Okay, just real quick because
if they make the Super Bowl, no.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I sat here early in the show or earlier in the season and said they look like the best team in the NFL. I hate them. No.
Did not on the Super Bowl prediction show.
On our first show in the summer, I did not pick them. I think I picked the Dolphins. It was the 49ers and the Dolphins
What? When? I don't know. I'm lost.
on
a
our
little
prediction show.
bit. You picked.
The
Fuck,
49ers.
I don't know. We went over this. I forget what you did.
The,
I made you
think it
really
was
pick the
49ers
Browns. I
and
made you
Dolphins.
re-pick.
Yeah, maybe I did.
So,
pick
and I don't think we ever finished.
But
it.
anyways, as the season went on, I said Baltimore looks like the best team in the NFL right now.
They do.
There's no freaking way I'm rooting for those pieces of shit. Fuck them.
You know who I'm rooting for? It's kind of the opposite.
Detroit.
You damn right. I don't care if they're in the Bears division. A couple things while I'm rooting for Detroit.
I wanted to see Detroit and Green Bay in this game. NFC Championship.
Oh, hell, that'd be great. That'd be great. It fucking speaks to the Bears division. And one thing is, if Detroit wins the whole thing, the Bears beat them this year and probably should have beat them twice because they had a 14-point lead with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter and pissed the game away in Ford Field. But anyway, I think we're on the football day unless you got more.
No. I'm good.
Very good. Here we go. Conference Championship Sunday starts at 3 p.m. on CBS. That means Nance and Romo. It is Kansas City traveling to Baltimore. Kansas City is the 3 seed on the AFC side of the board. They are the AFC West winners. Baltimore is the 1 seed on the AFC side with the best record. They are the AFC North winners. Kansas City, we're going to talk about that first, but the line is Baltimore minus 3.5. The over-under is 44. Kansas City, let's talk about them. They went into Orchard Park, snuck out of town with a 27-24 win.
Wide right.
What? Twice. I mean, you talk about bringing some flashbacks back
Holy hell.
The Buffalo fans. Holy hell. But you know what, Dan? While we're talking about that game, and there's a lot to talk about this, the kid should have made the field goal, 100%. And it was really wide right. But he makes the field goal. There's going to be 1:44 left on the clock. And Buffalo hadn't stopped Kansas City the entire second half. I would have been shocked, even if he made the field goal, if Mahomes wouldn't have maneuvered their way downfield where they had either scored or got a very good-looking shot at a field goal from Harrison Butker. But none of that came to fruition because
Ray Finkel's kicking.
Yeah, Tyler Bass missed poorly wide right. How about this? Kansas City is making their 6th straight AFC Conference Championship performance or appearance. Fucking 6 in a row.
Hey, Andy Reid did the same shit when he was with Philadelphia.
He's a good coach.
I mean, how many times was Philadelphia there?
I don't know that stat. The offense for Kansas City is looking much better in the playoffs.
It is. It has.
Down the stretch in the regular season, we're like, what the fuck? You know, I mean, this offense can't do anything.
Pacheco's running like a maniac.
I love that guy. Talk about an angry runner. Little kid, man. And he runs with leverage. He keeps his pad level low. Looks like he's got shot out of cannon. This is the second. Well, Kansas City beat Miami 27-6. And then they beat Buffalo 27-24. So their offense has put up 27 points the 2 playoff games that they played in so far, which many times will get it done. With that being said, the calling card for this team isn't the offense.
No, it's the defense.
And it's for both teams, really, if you ask me. The calling card for this, I mean, the headlines on this is always going to be Lamar Jackson and Pat Mahomes. That's what the headline's going to be. But the calling card for these teams are their defense. I mean, they have 2 of probably the top 5 defenses in the National Football League.
How bad does Baltimore look for not picking up Patrick Queen's 5th-year option?
They didn't. I didn't know that, but
it's so freaking stupid. And I would love to see that dude in a Browns uniform. I mean, he's all over the field.
Patrick Queen's one of their backers, but that defense,
he's gonna get paid.
That defense is led by ex-Bear Roquan Smith.
I don't know about that. I think Patrick Queen's better than him.
Really, than Rowe?
Yep.
Oh, I don't know about all that. And Baltimore led the league in sacks this year. They have 3 guys on their defensive line that have registered 9 or more sacks.
How about my boy Myles Garrett getting Defensive Player of the Year?
Oh, that shit came out?
Yeah.
Oh, the Player of the Year shit came out?
Didn't have a sack for like the last freaking 6 games of the year, but got it.
When did it happen?
Today I heard it.
Did MVP come out and all that good stuff? That didn't come out yet,
No.
did it? Oh, no. All right, I don't know about that.
Defensive Player of the Year.
Let's talk about Baltimore and their performance against Houston last week. The game was tied 10-10 at the half, and then They absolutely throttled them. They blew them out in the second half. It was a beatdown. They scored the only points in the second half, which was 24 of them. The final ended up being 34-10. And we talked about this team already. I mean, it's the defense, and then Lamar Jackson's an electric player. There's no two ways about it. And
Mud.
yeah, I mean, he's a good passer. But meanwhile, when he gets in trouble,
when he runs,
his escapability is
yeah, it's freaking. I mean,
his escapability is untouchable.
And when a quarterback like that runs, at some point he's going to take a hit and get injured, and he seems to avoid those hits all the time.
Smart.
I mean, he's it's really good what he does. I mean, the way he runs and the way. I mean, it's crazy to watch him. It's frustrating.
And he's grown as a quarterback in the league with experience, and he doesn't take the hits. He finds a way to avoid them in regards to sliding or whatever he needs to do. But, man, he is difficult to contain.
You watch Mahomes run, looks like someone's shoving him forward with a stick in his ass.
Yeah, he doesn't have the athleticism that Lamar does.
No.
But he's very crafty.
Different.
He's very crafty, and he knows when to run. I mean, he's a bright kid. And when, the defense has his back to them and they're running down the field, he's going to take off and take advantage of it. He takes advantage when he can. This is difficult. I'm almost ready to pick the game. It's Baltimore -3.5 once again. Over-under is 44. You want me to take the lead? I'm taking the points with the Kansas City Chiefs. They are the defending champs. They will not go down easy. I think this is a great football game. I have no idea who's going to win this football game. Okay. Baltimore has been incredible. Not only in
I wish I knew what the weather was going to be.
Come on, it's here. I guarantee it. I might even be able to do it. Let's try this. Alexa, what is the weather going to be in Baltimore on Sunday?
On Sunday, January 28th in Baltimore, Maryland, you'll see showers and can expect a high of 44 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 32 degrees. Up next, would you like to fall asleep to relaxing garden sounds tonight?
No, thank you.
Maybe later.
So yeah, the cold. Dan's staple line, Mudbud don't like the cold, is not an issue, but
44 and rain.
We're talking rain. We've seen rain games. We saw that rain game in San Francisco against Green Bay, but that's not on the board quite yet. I'm going to take the lead. The defending champs, they've looked much better on offense. They have not gone easy. They're not going to go easy in the night. I don't know if they win this football game, but the hook scares me at -3.5. I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs to possibly win this football game, which nobody wants to see because everybody's tired of seeing Kansas City in the Super Bowl, right?
Yes, no, I'm tired of seeing them all together. I'm tired of seeing Taylor Swift. I'm tired of all the bullshit.
What about Jason Kelce?
Okay, that was a nice story, him holding up the girl and him jump. I mean, if you or I jumped out of a luxury box into the stands where the normal people are, we'd have been fucking handcuffed and hauled off.
He's drinking Labatt Blue. He's shirtless. But Dan, I was impressed. What I was really impressed by was how he jumped back into the fucking luxury box.
I was too.
I'm like, holy hell! I'm like, I would need a ladder.
I'd have been like,
you maybe got a step ladder?
Yeah.
God damn!
I'd have been like, fuck my knees on this fucking rail for the window.
Dude, he sized it up. He put his enormous hands on whatever the shot and propelled himself, went right over, no problem.
I was impressed by that.
You know what's funny? We saw that, we were watching that, and I was chastising the kids out here. I'm like, my kids, I'm like, you think those offensive linemen aren't fucking athletes? You're wrong. You're wrong. I mean, they're fucking incredible athletes.
Mr. Miyagi.
They're like dancing bears. I mean, their feet are incredible. In regards to what they do, carrying 300 plus pounds, they're amazing athletes. They really are. You may think they're like these fatties, but they're good athletes, man. So anyway,
that was impressive.
I chose Kansas City under the number. I think they may win this football game in Baltimore. I don't know. I don't necessarily want to see them again in the Super Bowl, but I'm taking the Chiefs.
I don't even want to pick this.
Pick it with, not in your heart. Pick it. Who do you think is going to win this game, Dan? I mean, Baltimore.
Well, I think Baltimore is going to win this game, but I think it's closer.
They played.
I mean, that's the hook you're
you don't like
talking
the hook.
about.
They don't like the hook. Nobody likes the hook.
I mean, it's going to be a good game.
It could come down the wire, and it could be a field goal finish, and I don't know. But meanwhile, Dean, Baltimore, I mean, they kicked the shit. They went into San Francisco, kicked the shit out of them.
Yeah. No, I
Came
agree.
back home, kicked the shit out of Miami, who was a contender, supposedly. I mean, they played great down the end of the regular season. But I tell you what,
But my Browns
that-
beat them.
they did. And that performance last week against Houston wasn't that great, if you ask me.
No.
I mean, at least the first half. But I don't know.
I'm going to follow you and go with Kansas City on this.
All right, we're both taking the points. Dan thinks Baltimore's going to win this football game. I'm not so sure. I told the younger bettors I would get prop bets. I got a couple for you. I like Isaiah Pacheco. Everybody likes Isaiah Pacheco. But what I really like is to guard against your bet with the rushing and receiving combination. He catches balls out of the backfield. He runs the ball, things like that. I like the rushing and receiving combo bet. I know it's going to be minus some. I like Justin Tucker, the field goal kicker for the Baltimore Ravens, over 1.5 field goals, and Lamar anytime. Because Lamar has a tendency to like put the weight on his shoulders and take it over for himself at times. I like a Lamar anytime. Those are my best prop bets for the first game.
Is Odell still on the team?
He's on a team where he caught one fucking ball last week. Something like that. I don't
What a
know.
waste of money.
Who's the go-to? Zay Flowers seemed to go. And Mark Andrews. We didn't talk about him.
Yeah,
We thought he was going to
play.
We thought he was going to play last week. I think they saved him. I think he's
Yeah.
going to play this week, man. I think he is. I mean, that's a tight end battle between him and Kelsey. We'll see. This is a great football game. I love it. I like the over. I do. I know that the calling card for both these teams is the defense. I still like the over because the quarterback position, they have playmakers, man. You talk about two of the best playmakers in the National Football League. It's Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes. I still like the over of 44 in this game. Then Sunday nightcap, I call it nightcap. I love it that it's at 6:30 and not at 8:15 or anything like that.
That's fantastic.
I love that. It's on Fox, and I don't even know who the head crew is. It's probably going to change next year. I know Olsen, Greg Olsen is the color. Who's the guy? Who's the lead guy?
I don't know.
Burkhardt?
I don't know what his name is, but I don't mind him. Sometime Olsen gets some diarrhea coming out of his mouth, but not as bad as Collinsworthless.
Colin's worthless. Anyway, we're not good. Dan hates all the commentators. Anyway, I'm going to introduce the game. Once again, I told you it's 3-1 on both sides. It is the 3 seed, the Detroit Lions, who are the NFC North winners, traveling out to San Francisco to play the 49ers. They're the 1 seed. They're the NFC West winners. They're a full touchdown favorite. They're a -7 in this football game. Dan's getting a new beer. I love it. I don't know. We don't have terribly too much to talk about. Let's talk about Detroit first. They come off of their win at home at Ford Field against Tampa Bay. It was 31-23. They kind of outlasted Tampa Bay. It was a really good football game.
That was a great game.
The divisional round game was considerably better than Wild Card Weekend.
Yes.
In regards
yeah.
to competitive games, I guess, if you will. This is the first time that the Detroit Lions will make an appearance in the NFC Conference Championship game.
I think it was the first time all season where I didn't have to see the Cowboys.
Right. What? They're choke artists. What do you mean? In
They
the
were on
Conference
TV.
Championship game? This year. Yeah, America's team. I hear you. We talked about the Chiefs making all kinds of appearances and things like that in regards to conference championship games. This is the first time the Detroit Lions have made a NFC Conference Championship appearance since 1991.
See, that was funny. I was trying to think, have they ever been there before? They were there in 91.
91.
Who was on the team then? Who's the quarterback?
Maybe Eric Kramer.
91. I would have been.
This probably is not going to work. Alexa, who was the quarterback of the Detroit Lions in 1991? Eric Hipple, maybe?
From Answers.com. Eric Kramer and Rodney Peete each started 8
There you go.
1991 regular season games for the Detroit Lions.
So is Barry still on the team in 91? Yeah.
Alexa,
When did Barry Sanders play for the Detroit Lions?
Barry Sanders played for the Detroit Lions from 1989 to 1998.
There you go.
yeah, last time and Barry, I didn't
Who
watch.
did they lose
Have you
to?
watched that documentary?
No.
I feel like it was the fucking Jets, but there's no way.
Wait. They lost this. It
Alexa,
couldn't be the Jets.
there's no way that Dan and I get this lucky that we get all these fucking things out of it, Alexa. Alexa, who did the Detroit Lions lose to in an NFC
This
conference?
season, the Lions have
Told
lost to
you.
the Ravens, Cowboys, Packers, Seahawks, and Bears.
Start with the date. In 19.
Alexa, in 1991, who did the Detroit Lions lose to in the NFC Conference Championship game?
Sorry, I don't know
Nah.
that one.
It wasn't Jets. I mean, like the game that came to me.
Couldn't have been Jets.
Is it
The
Brit-
Jets are an AFC team.
Right, yeah, good point. Fucking very good. Well, way the fuck off topic. 1991, we're talking about George Bush, not George W. Bush being president. We're talking about the United States
Senior.
being in the middle of the Gulf War, which was coined Operation Desert Storm here in America. I mean, that's what we're talking about, how long it goes since when Detroit has made an appearance in a game that could possibly lead to
91.
them getting in the Super Bowl.
So that was my senior year in college. Fuck. Was it Atlanta? Or was it Green Bay? No. Couldn't.
Oh, no, that Minnesota Atlanta game.
Alexa,
No way.
who played in the Super Bowl in 1991?
Probably 92.
In Super Bowl 25 on Sunday, January 27, 1991, the Giants beat the Bills 20-19.
Alexa, who played in the Super Bowl in 1992?
In Super Bowl 26 on Sunday, January 26, 1992, the Redskins beat the Bills 37-24.
So I believe it would be the
Redskins.
Detroit Lions lost to the Washington Redskins, now known as the Commanders after that 1991 season, 1992, right?
They beat the Buffalo Bills, and it must have been one of the wide right or lefts.
I don't think that was in 92. That's too early. I mean, you're talking about 92. You're talking about. Are we talking about fucking
That
Joe
was-
fucking Theismann? Are we talking about Doug Williams? What are we talking about? For
It was
Washington's
it was
football
Doug-
team.
It would have been Doug Williams.
I think so, too.
Theismann, no,
With-
Theismann, no, he was out. I was in high school when Theismann broke his ankle or leg.
You talking about? I think you're talking about. Are you talking about Doug Williams, like Art Monk and things like that? And
Alexa.
are you talking about John Riggins?
Alexa, who was
This
the
show's
Washington Redskins quarterback in the 1992 Super Bowl?
Sorry, I don't know that.
Alexa, did Doug Williams win a Super Bowl?
In his NFL career, Doug Williams won one Super Bowl.
What year was it? Alexa, what year did Doug Williams win the Super Bowl?
In his NFL career, Doug Williams won the Super Bowl once, in 1988.
No.
88.
So it wasn't 92.
88? No, it couldn't have been 88. There's no freaking way.
Well, they didn't win. Fuck, I don't know. We're way off topic. We gotta stop this shit.
Alexa, who won the Super Bowl in 1992?
In Super Bowl 26 on January 26, 1992, the Redskins beat the Bills 37-24.
Dan, the dogs don't like Alexa. The dogs are barking at the door. Dan, I still can't figure out who the
Alexa.
fucking quarterback was. Mark Rippon?
Who was the winning quarterback in 1992 Super Bowl?
There's no way. Alexa, who was a MVP of the 1992 Super Bowl?
1992 Super Bowl won Mark Rippon and quarterback.
Mark Rippon.
Mark Rippon
Yeah.
is the answer. Finally, it took.
Jeez.
It was like it's like that game, like that Kevin Bacon game. It took us a long time, but we kind of figured.
What were we
it out.
talking about?
Fuck, we have another game to talk
Let's
about.
go.
Let me recap this motherfucker. Holy hell, it's Detroit, the 3 seed
How
NFC
the fuck
North
did we get
winner.
off the rails like that?
Crazy, because that's what we do. That's what we do. San Francisco, the 1 seed. They are the NFC West winners. They are a full touchdown favorite, -7 in this game. This game features a fun quarterback thing. It is Jared Goff who leads the Detroit Lions at quarterback. He was the number 1 overall pick in whatever draft it was. I think it was 2016. With that being said,
Mr. Irrelevant.
the quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers is Brock Purdy. He was the very last pick in the draft, so that's kind of a neat quirk. We got an Iowa tight end battle. Detroit Sam Laporta, and then George Kittle for the 49ers, and we got that fun, pass rusher thing. We got Nick Bosa for the 49ers, who's an OSU guy, and then we got Aiden Hutchinson for Detroit, who's a Michigan guy. So we got all kinds of
Chase
fun
Young
stuff.
too, who's another OSU
He
guy.
is. That's true.
I forgot he was on the team till I saw his freaking hair.
Till we show, he needs to show up, man.
Yeah.
He needs to show up.
He's a free agent after this year too.
Once again, line -7. Detroit, they outlasted Tampa Bay. They did. It was a pretty good football game. They got up a couple scores late. They came, and the game, there wasn't a ton of scoring in the first half, and then it kind of went crazy in the second half, and both teams were scoring. But with that being said, a great win for Detroit. I'm happy for them. I think the key for Detroit in this game is they need to run the football. I think that's the weaker part of the San Francisco defense, which is a very good defense. San Francisco gives up running back receptions, like in the flat. So I'm going to talk to you about prop bets. It's going to be Jahmyr Gibbs when I talk about it in a bit. But anyway, I think that's the key for Detroit. They outlasted Tampa Bay. I've said it a couple of times. And then San Francisco, they won a game at home, in the rain, against Green Bay, where if you ask me, and I'm not a Packer fan, I think they got outplayed.
Oh, that quarterback
Thoroughly
made some
by-
bad mistakes.
They got outplayed thoroughly by the Green Bay Packers
Yeah.
throughout that game. I mean, they survived that football game at home against Green Bay. It makes me nervous. One thing, the biggest thing that's getting me is Deebo Samuel.
Yeah, that's huge because Purdy does not play good when he's not in the game.
He's
Their offense doesn't function.
No, it doesn't. Deebo Samuel is probably my favorite football player in the National Football League outside of my Chicago Bear players who I just absolutely adore. With that being said, that kid plays with so much edge, things like that. Wednesday, injury reports are supposed to come out. I haven't heard whether listen, that dude's going to fucking
Shoulder
suit.
did not practice today.
He's going to suit up. He's going to fucking suit up. He's going to play. Whether or not he gets knocked out is another question.
Well, he can
And
be
if he
out
doesn't,
there,
I mean,
if
that
you
team
use
is
it.
completely different without Deebo. It's completely different. I mean, he's like that Swiss Army knife. If you need 2 yards, fuck it, man. That guy will get it. McCaffrey seems to be a little banged up with the thigh. I don't know, but that's a very balanced. That San Francisco team is a very balanced, experienced playoff football team that you can't take for granted. I don't know, man. Dan, I went first. Are we ready to pick this game, or you
I'm
got more to
taking
talk?
Detroit. That's too big of a number for this game. I'm taking Detroit.
I completely agree with Dan. I mean, I think
They're going to play.
that Deebo Samuel thing. I mean, I think this is a high-scoring game. By the way, the over/under is 50.5 in this game. I think you're going
Jared
to see a lot of
Goff
points.
is comfortable playing in that stadium. He played there for how many years?
Yeah, he's a Ram quarterback for quite a while. I think it was Dan Singh and the 49ers were in the division. He played them twice.
Yeah.
Each year he played at least once there. I agree. I mean, I think this game is going to be high scoring. I really do. I don't think a ton of Detroit's defense. I think San Francisco's defense is better, but I'm not going to discount Jared Goff. I mean, it wouldn't shock me completely if Detroit wins this football game. It wouldn't. I think we're on the best bets. Prop bets. I'm sorry. Prop bets. I told you earlier that the San Francisco defense has a tendency to give up receptions out of the backfield. Play Jahmyr Gibbs. That's the kid you want to play. Play his receptions. Play his receiving yards. I think he breaks a receiving touchdown this game. And then play Kittle anytime. Touchdown. Detroit gives up touchdowns to tight ends. They've done it throughout the season. I love George Kittle, by the way. George Kittle is a Bears fan. I love that shit about it. Anyway, Kittle anytime is another prop play. We're both on the Lions getting the points.
Yep.
We're on the best, Dan.
Detroit.
Yeah, I don't know how you don't go that way. It's a big number. It's too big a number for me too.
You got 2 to pick from. I'm taking that one.
Right, I know. It was 2 weeks in a row where Dan and I are not chalk, but we're on the same page in regards to our picks and our best bets. I like these games to be really good games going down the wire. I hate that we have one football game left. I wrote on the board in the outro portion of the program that we're off next week. We'll see you in a couple
We'll
weeks.
be back on next week.
I don't know what the fuck we're going to talk about, or I appreciate the diehards who may tune in. I tell you what,
We're doing a show because we got nothing else to do.
in 2 weeks, I hear you. In 2 weeks, we will 100% set you up for the Super Bowl in regards to channel, the entertainment from the anthem to the halftime show, picks, props, all the good things, and also probably give you tips on how to make your own Super Bowl party great again, right?
Yeah. We'll tell you what to cook, give you recipes.
All right, very good. Yes,
If you
sir.
want a recipe, contact us.
That's right. We can do that for you. By the way, speaking of us giving advice or whatever in regards to that, also, we'll take suggestions this week in regards to series. Do not give me a series that has more than 3 seasons. I won't fucking watch it. It's too much of a time commitment.
Watch The Sopranos.
No chance.
25 years.
No chance. Anyway, hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I appreciate it. We will see you apparently next week. I'm not positive about all that.